Welcome back, dear viewers. Now it's time for our daily press review, and we are joined today by Mr. Aly Atef, who is a political analyst. Good morning.
Good morning for you.
And we start off from Al-Wafd newspaper, and we read the President Fattah al-Sisi praises the Egyptian youth. On the International Youth Day, President al-Sisi praised the Egyptian youth on the Youth Day and on his official social media pages. President Sisi praised the promising and enthusiastic Egyptian youth. The President said that they are proving day after day that they are the secret of strength and vitality over the great nation. President Sisi stressed that the Egyptian state is determined to continue supporting its youth and prepare them in a way that achieves a better future for Egypt. So, sir, how do you see President Fattah al-Sisi's keenness to always communicate with Egyptian youths?
Yes, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has been reassuring that the youth are the essence and the strength of the Egyptian state and the Egyptian society. So he has been exerting efforts to support them through creating jobs and through the economic reformations, and also through talking with them and to them through the youth conferences and such. So he says this, they are the strength of the Egyptian state, so supporting them as one of his necessities.
Yes, and from Al-Yom Al-Sabi' newspaper, we read Egyptians celebrate the second day of Eid on Monday, and with millions flocking to public parks, sea coasts, resorts, as well as archaeological and tourist sites. Number of Egyptian citizens spend the day in Giza Zoo and the other public parks across the country, as well as by the Nile River, while others went to coastal cities to spend the Eid al-Adha. Meanwhile, the Interior Ministry took security measures, with the security forces intensifying the presence to secure citizens during their celebrations, deploying traffic policemen and rapid intervention forces. So how do you see these measures?
Yes, happy Eid for you and for all Egyptians. So the security forces have intensifying their presence in different places to secure the places and secure Egypt from any threats. So people can celebrate Eid al-Adha in safety and safely. So they have been to zoos and parks in the first and second day. With this security, which has provided by the security forces and the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from Al-Shuruq newspaper, we read the Cabinet's operation room says 70,521 Egyptian pilgrims performed Hajj this year. The Cabinet's operation room announced that the total numbers of Egyptian pilgrims this year reached 70,521 pilgrims, adding that the Hajj season this year passed without any problems or obstacles. Meanwhile, the Saudi General Authority for Statistics announced that the total pilgrims number from inside and outside of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia reached 2,489,000 pilgrims. It added that 1,855,000 came from outside the country, while 634,000 came from inside the country. Earlier, pilgrims ascended Mount Arafat and performed prayers at Namira Mosque. Alongside the roads leading to Mount Arafat, Saudi traffic police, being supported by security men and scouts, exerted best efforts to ensure smooth and flexible movement. So how did you follow up the Hajj this year?
Yes, it's important to say that the number of pilgrims is increasing year by year, year after year in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
So millions of pilgrims coming from all over the world, from the Middle East and other continents and other states in the world. This has put a force on the Saudi state to provide security and provide safety for them. So we can see the Saudi state deploying the security forces to ease the movements of the pilgrims. So not any for example, clashes or instability occurs in the Hajj season.
Yes. And we move to اليوم السابع newspaper, and we read new and renewable energy authority invests 19 million euros in solar energy. Head of the new and renewable energy authority, Dr. Mohammed Al-Khayyat, said that the authority's investments in the fields of solar energy amounted to about 19 million euros. He said that the investments include the implementation of power plant using solar cell system with capacity of 26 megawatt in the city of Komombo, in addition to more than 150 million euros for projects under preparation. Al-Khayyat also said that the total investments in Bimban solar power plant are about $2 billion. The head of the Renewable Energy Authority said that Bimban solar power plant complex includes 32 solar power plants with a capacity of 1,465 megawatts. Yes. So how do you see the importance of Bimban solar power plant?
Yeah, this comes alongside with the state's efforts to create economic reformations in the state, inside the state. So it needs to provide these economic reformations. Yes. We need more electricity from other resources to be provided to the people and to factories to be able to produce more and more to provide the people with these products. Yes. And so.
And still with اليوم السابع newspaper, where we read terrorist attacks in Syria kill and injure 30 servicemen. The Russian Defense Ministry Center for Syrian Reconciliation said that terrorists attacked the positions of the Syrian government troops in the past 48 hours, leaving 23 servicemen killed, 7 more injured. It said that the attacks by terrorists have been repelled by the Syrian government troops, adding that terrorists suffered heavy losses. So how do you see the situation in Syria?
Yes, the last developments on the Syrian scene has been somehow seen different developments in the latest weeks. We have seen that the terrorists yes. Have ended in Syria, and so the Syrian state has been well, day by day restoring the territories the terrorists have taken before in the last years. So we can say that the Syrian state will come back with more strength than before, than the weeks before or the years before. So this poses security, or this poses a security issue for the Middle East. So for Syria to be stable, this is an important point for the Middle East. Not just Syria or Lebanon, but for all the Middle East states. This is an important issue for the whole security.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we move to Al-Wafd, where we read the United States will support the post-Brexit UK with a trade deal. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton told British officials on Monday that U.S. President Donald Trump wants to see successful British exit from the European Union that Washington will support with a US-UK free trade agreement. So how do you expect the situation to be as the United Kingdom prepares to leave the European Union on the 31st of October?
Yes, as we have seen in the last weeks, a new Prime Minister in Britain has come. So Theresa May has left, and Britain will leave surely the European Union.
Yes.
So about the Washington-London relations, we can see that Trump and Theresa May were somehow different. So Trump has criticized Theresa May too much before her leaving. So we can see that Johnson and Trump will somehow agree on some issues. So Washington has expressed that it will cooperate too much with the new administration in London.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we move to اليوم السابع newspaper, and we read South Korea says Pyongyang's criticism of military exercise is not helpful for inter-Korean ties. The South Korean Unification Ministry on Monday refuted North Korea's ramped-up criticism that the ongoing joint Seoul-Washington military drill is a violation of agreements between the two Koreas, saying such criticism does not help advance inter-Korean relations. North Korea has lashed out at South Korea and the U.S. for holding a joint military exercise that kicked off earlier this month. To what extent, sir, these exercises threaten relations?
Yeah, North Korea has seen these drills as a threat or an obstacle to the latest developments between Washington and Pyongyang. So it has asked Seoul and Washington to stop these drills to be, as it said, to be able to continue the talks with the United States. So it has seen these drills as a threat for the agreements or the developments with Washington. In the latest weeks, we have seen that Trump has been to North Korea for agreements or for talks with Kim Jong-un. Pyongyang has seen these drills as a threat for the agreements or for the talks with the United States of America.
And finally, we move to Al-Shuru and hot weather expected on Tuesday. Meteorologists predict moderate weather to prevail Tuesday on the western coast. Hot weather on eastern coast, the Delta and Cairo, as well as very hot weather on the south of the country, but they predict it to be moderate at night. Mist is expected to affect the visibility in the morning on some parts north of the country. Low-level clouds are expected on the northern coasts as northwestern wind will be moderate. The temperatures in Cairo are expected to be 38-26. Waves in the Mediterranean Sea are expected to average between 1 and 1.5 meters high with northwestern surface wind, while waves in the Red Sea are expected to average between 1.5 and 2 meters high with southwestern surface wind. And finally, I'd like to thank you, Mr.
So much for
Aly Atef, political analyst. Thank you for being with us today, and happy Eid.
Happy Eid for you.
And now give you a short break, and we'll be back, so stay tuned.